back to the SaltyyShow, and welcome back to our Total War Rome to Empire Divided campaign as Palmyra, episode 32. I hope you guys are doing well today, and if you are, like and subscribe as always. Without further ado, I did just go through the turn here, mopping up and moving our forces west as we begin to make the final preparations to go to war with the Germanic kingdoms of Greece, you could say. And if you've noticed, I am recording with a different mic by now, which there will be a short little pause just so I can test it to see if it's even fathomable to record this episode. I will be returning the mic as it does have it's a dynamic mic because I do pick up a lot of background noise in a lot of the recordings I do currently. So I'm hoping to eliminate that for a better viewing experience for you guys. However, I might have I didn't want to spend the bank on a very expensive mic, so I started at the bottom, and I think I'm going to work my way up at the top. I'm probably going to jump the gun and go for a new one. That's not good. The Macromani did take Ephesus, but that actually might give Pergamon the ability to invest in some new infrastructure if the Macromani take it down. The Alani are finally dead. That is unfortunate for them, but we are just gearing towards that inevitable war with the Macromani. In the last episode, we canceled their military access through our lands, and most of their armies have listened. The only one here, the Wild Hunters, are still in our land, but that is currently the only ones I see. And with Ephesus falling, Lydia really needs to re-secure that settlement. They do have a legion ready to do so. So, fingers crossed, they shouldn't struggle too well. They've also secured Apollonia, Pontica. I don't think they'll hold it. They've been kind of trading blows with them for a long time. But we are preparing. Sorry, everybody. My co-host is still here. But we are preparing for the inevitable German war. Fingers crossed we can deal with it swiftly and make inevitable gains. But this is where I'm going to draw a quick little pause so I can test the mic and see if you guys are even going to see this. After some great deliberation, I am recording with the same mic. Things sound fine for at least one episode before I try and return it. But we are going to finally, I think, pressure the Macromani. Lydia has resecured Ephesus, securing Asia Minor, or at least the western tip of it once more. Our positions are in power. The only things that you guys have missed is we have established a trade link with the Franki up here far to the north. And we've also established a non-aggression pact with the Caledonian people that have secured all of Britain for the most part, or the British Isles, along with most of Gaul, pushing Gallic Rome to Italy and the southern bit of Gaul, along with Hispania. They still hold a vast amount of territory, but it is far depleted where they started. And the Macromani appear to be about to lose their capital as well to the Franki. Now, will that actually happen? I do not know. What I'm more concerned about, though, is, of course, dealing with the Macromani. We are still raiding their forces. I really think we want to get the pounce on...
Are you brave or foolish? Or just mad? Our wise women have looked into the flame. Are you brave or foolish?
6 turns.
Or just mad? Well, speak.
So we have 6 turns. That is...
Ready for orders.
I mean, I guess we can try to wait 6 turns, because if we don't wait the full 6, we are going to be impacted by the treaty no matter what we do, unfortunately.
I'm listening.
I think a 14 stack and a 19 stack there is plenty to guard the coastlines. Side is garrisoned by a actual, like, proper legion, so I'm not too worried. I really want to secure roads, make it a naval port, a naval base to launch further or future operations. If Lydia takes it, I won't be too upset, because we still have Crete to gun for, but we do have to be careful. The Macromani are rocking quite a few navies, and we still have a lot of achievements to go for. Now, the interior coast of Mare Phoenicum is fairly secure. We will see them coming from a mile away, but I am worried, of course, about our own navy. I guess if we're going to try and wait, Do we wait? Do we wait? That is the question. We could benefit from more raids. It would help build us up economically and allow Zenobia to just get a little bit more cavalry going before she has to strike at Gabata. Other than that, though, I think we're going to roll with it. I did make the mistake of accidentally hitting, I had to reload the save before I started recording, because I accidentally married Zenobia to a new general, and we've been literally playing for the entirety of this series and not doing that, so we're most definitely not going to.
These brazen fools.
I do eventually want to aid our allies in North Africa. However, I really don't want to push a legion down there when we're about to start a new war on our Asia Minor front. We will allow them to trade. Missing taxes is not the worst. This man, strict abstinence risk unpopularity in town. Such pride would serve him better on the march. Oh, we're fine with that. It's time to disband the legion over here. Civil Urbis has been constructed. Very nice. Very rarely, honestly, that I play a campaign this long to where I actually construct the buildings to their maximum tier. It does not happen often. Now, what did we want to get in Alexandria? I was looking at this earlier, and I had an idea. Farming is getting a huge boost, but so is commerce. Commerce is getting a pretty substantial boost as well. We already have that boost commerce to agriculture. We could get the spice market. That's going to give us 800 commerce, owning culture, and 15 from all sources. The slave is going to give, I think, way too many negatives for it to be worth it. The extra banditry definitely is not pleasant. We really don't need the food. Now, 18% tariff income from trade agreements. That's pretty tempting. I do think we're going to get the spice market, though. Since it's our unique building, and we have a unique building for it, it's going to benefit us in the long run to do so. One thing off camera I'm doing as well is I'm converting Mesopotamia to the breadbasket that it was historically. So I've traded out the military buildings for lots of farms. We will be investing in that in the coming episodes, depending on how much we truly need it, you know. But with them recruiting, make sure we can't get any. We can actually get some new agents. Let's go ahead and get a new spy in the south. And I believe, yeah, the Legion of Septimus already has a general or a veteran. So we could. Oh, it's a dignitary, anyways. Need to pay attention to where I'm deploying these guys. Judea could utilize that. Sorry, everybody, you might hear some barking soon if I can't keep the dogs from ripping each other apart. Decimus Quirinius Merula? Well, welcome to the fold, soldier. Well, soldier of the civics, you could say. So if you're going to recruit, we could station her with the Legion. We could actually set her up to be ready to invade Gortyna, Crete. In fact, we could send her right now. Is there a navy in range? Not that we can see.
Make haste, men.
So let's make a gamble. The Legion of Armenia is setting sail for Crete.
Your orders?
You're gonna protect side. We could raise a new Legion here.
Ready for orders.
They do have an 8 stack now. That's not good. They are getting rather
Fleet
bulky.
reporting. Steady as we go.
But let's go ahead and prep them just in case.
For now, I'm
And to protect this area, let's go ahead and get Vidi Gamella back down here in the Legion of Parthia. We will give her a better general, though.
For the people. Be on duties.
And let's grab some pikemen. Well, honestly, this is going to be a rather cheap force, so maybe not. I say that.
Speak.
The more experienced and skilled they are, the less forces they would actually need in the long run. So with that said, let's grab some archers. Then 4 or 5 Imperial pikemen. Quite a strong little garrison stack, you could say. Wouldn't even really call them a garrison stack at that point. Alright.
Ready for battle.
Are we safe? So they're going to march for Giones. They're basically a full stack. I would truly hope they can handle it. So I'm going to let them try and prove themselves. And we're going to open up another raid trade lane. Or raiding lane, you could say. Zenobia. Sorry, everybody. Bubby is getting a little antsy down there. Yes. Let's start raiding down here as well. I want to... I want to get as much money from them as we can.
Saltyy, how can I that?
Gosh darn.
I have failed.
We're ruining the Quadi settlement up there. Sorry, everybody. Things are going south rather quickly. I'm going to skip a couple more turns, I think, before we go to war with the Macromani, just to try to do it diplomatically. Welcome back, everybody, to the fateful turn we've been waiting for. Honestly, I've just been trying to kill time. And, trying to work out getting us to a chance to potentially get all the way up to a empire soon enough. I was rather close, however. The political stability that it would cause would really upset our empire or our kingdom. So I'm really trying to work on that, giving some influence to them while we work on securing their loyalty for the long run. Because we do want to, I do think eventually getting to an empire would be the right thing to do. However, I don't want to risk the stability of our kingdom. But we are growing quite massive. But in other news, we are ready to strike against the Macromani, and just in time, as our new step, client state, puppet state, tribes, whatever you want to call them, have managed to finally kick it into gear, securing Gelonis, butchering that I'm sure, and Samander for themselves, and actually making their way down to Gabata, but we want to secure Gabata for ourselves, so that will be the first target of today's battles as we do secure that. Meanwhile, we could probably, oh yeah, we could totally end the tech tree here. So we're going to max out our economy line.
I fight for the people.
And we will go into murdering the enemy. But first and foremost, I want to make sure we can do it. The Macromani did secure Ephesus again. I'm not super worried about it.
Well met, friend.
Okay, we should be able to declare war on them without cause. They do appear to be focusing more on their northernly border, as them and the Gallic Romans are pushing back against their northern problems.
Well met, friend.
I would love to trade, but apparently that is just not going to happen. So who do we want to aid? Or who do we want to say we will help you with? Who are you at war? What can we benefit from? Honestly, I guess Lydia would be, or the Este. The Este, how much? 245. Lydia, how much do you like us? 271. Okay. You guys are all at war with just Numidia. You're at 163. Let's see. Aksum, the Frankie, Rome itself, or Lydia. I guess, you know, Lydia's held on for so long. We'll give them the benefit that
welcome, my friend.
We'll join their war.
I will give ear to you and
Macromani,
give tongue to the Senate's words.
if they're willing to pay us. Because now that I think about it, we probably want something in return. Alright, the Frankie.
We have need of talk, I'm sure. But we also need good
yes.
food, a warm fire, and warm women.
They will accept that. That's about all they're willing to accept, though. No, buddy, don't start, please. Jesus. One of my smaller dogs is on a blanket that he wants, and he thinks that is his to claim. We'll try to do it with the Frankie, just to get that extra boon to our positive. Wow, they're already at 217. Jesus. Alright, well.
Your people's reputation goes before you. Find a welcome here and speak as you wish.
Back to who we expected to do this for anyways. The war with the Macromani has begun.
I will recommend your worthy
Sorry,
proposal
everybody.
to the Senate.
Trying to keep him at bay while still making sure you all can hear me is a task in its own. But let us begin.
I shall take this.
We shall lay siege to the enemy.
At your none will escape.
Ooh. Don't really understand how they think that's going to be a close fight,
Let
but
them cower before
whatever.
foe.
This one, yikes.
Besieging the settlement.
We're going to lay siege to all of them. We're going to make our way here because we can go to war with the Quadi as well.
What do you wish of me?
My sword is yours. I will gods favor their
We
son.
are in open conflict now, so we need to pay attention to where the Macromani move. We can lay siege to Rhodes as well. Granted, that would be quite the battle for the Navy.
None shall pass.
But I think we might try. Meanwhile,
For the people.
yeah, definitely lay siege to them so we can catch their Navy in port. That's lovely. Or, well, that actually looks like it was an army. No. It was a Navy. It's just a big Navy. Wow. That is a very large Navy, getting 100 men per unit there. That's kind of insane. There's a small chance they could try to move from Ephesus. Lydia is down to 1 province, and they are recruiting. They're actually out of military buildings, so I do hope they figure that out rather quickly. I don't think we need to move. Side A is protected, so we can move to Pesinius or move here if we need to block them from coming up our way here. Because there are a lot of rebels or a lot of mercenaries that they could utilize. I did invest a little more in making Galatia a military location as well. Alright, so we're laying siege to every city in the Caucasus Mountains, and we are prepping for war to the north. Quite a large-scale battle, I do say so. I'm just losing it today.
It is an
I do
honor
say
to
so
serve Rome.
myself. Sorry, everybody. Let's see.
Ready for orders.
Would they be able to take on... I think if we deployed them with the Navy, they'd be fine to secure roads.
Your orders. Retreat!
So we will protect them here, and they will lay siege to roads themselves. Meanwhile, we can raise a new force just to go about protecting our lands again. The Legion of Malakbel will be reinstated,
Call this a garrison.
and yes, they will be acting as garrison troops for now.
Soldiering. It's a good life.
Wow. Good lord, we're gonna recruit a lot. 5 Vigiles, and we'll do 4 Slingers. This garrison is not going to hold against much, but it could definitely bolster a city if we needed it to. So the question is, Who and where do we want to begin the assault? They will fall next turn, so we can hold them. They're going to fall into... All these cities are going to fall in less than 2 turns, so I'm not really in a rush to attack. I'd like to draw them out. However, I do want to capture...
Let them cower.
The island of Crete here. I need to secure it, and I want to wipe out this navy, so we will be fighting the battle here at Gortyna. Gortyna? Well, without further ado, before I butcher the name anymore, let's get to the battlefield. I do greatly enjoy seeing some ballistas on the field, and I apologize if you all have to see this. I do hear the dogs playing down the hall, and they are getting rather loud, so I am sorry for that. But hopefully, maybe, who knows, maybe my mic, being a condenser mic, is blocking it a little more than it normally would. I kind of doubt it.
We are at your command.
But we are going to hope, considering I do think you're going to end up seeing the live action battle. Just because I am running a little short on time today, so I do apologize for that.
On the double.
Orders.
Let's actually get the riders.
Forward.
We might be able to get the riders out here to engage, as some of their navy has deployed rather far back. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, get them over here.
Awaiting your command.
Get everybody to run. I want them in the right position. Get out of the way.
Ready for orders. Quick march.
Let's pull Gracia here back. We are hammering the enemy here. Theodobert, focus on him.
Riders and the double.
They got some hurlers. They do have some melee infantry in here, but it's not significant.
Melee horsemen. Orders understood. Legionary cavalry.
I want to try and stop them.
Romans ready for duty. Advance.
Alright, if they're going to come for us, don't
By your command.
Melee cavalry.
let them get too many missiles off.
Forward! Legionary cavalry.
Lovely, we caught them. We will make swift work of the poor hurlers.
Legionary cavalry. Legionary cavalry.
Our legions are doing just fine for now.
Legionary cavalry. Ready. Your orders. Swift melee cavalry. Romans ready for duty.
Alright, they're gonna get a javelin throw off, yeah. But we should be able to pierce them rather swiftly.
Legionary cavalry. Advance.
Indeed, the legionary cav will make short work of these
Melee horsemen.
Germans.
Legionary cavalry.
It is rather interesting that they come with such a huge force, but I think we should be fine there, and they're way too worried about gearing up for a siege assault.
Melee cavalry ready and waiting. Forward!
Let's see if...
Ready and waiting. Engage!
There we go, yeah. Go help them so we can mop up the enemy there. Their navy is making their way out, though. But we managed to deal a devastating blow.
At the double. Ready. Swords. Melee infantry.
Awaiting your command.
Feel free to move in a little bit on this left side here. We are finally getting the upper hand on them here.
Swift melee cavalry. Proud Romans all.
There we go.
Ready. By your command.
Lovely work. Let's actually make sure you hang on to that. There's no reason to.
Jupiter gives us strength.
Our Palmyrian legions have made swift work of the enemy over here.
Forward!
Legionary cavalry.
Ready and waiting. Advance at speed.
Let's go ahead and prep for the city assault here. I want you all in position swiftly. She's gonna be ready to flank the enemy just in case. Excuse me. Sorry everybody if you heard that. I don't know how well this mic's gonna pick up things like that. Alright, they are actually hitting us with something. Not too sure what just yet. Oh, just some hurlers. But we're gonna return the favor. Start really hitting them hard.
Swords!
Let's go ahead and
Ready and waiting.
lock down these alleyways here
Pikemen!
so that our pikes can focus on the main line here. Focus on these longbow hunters. They are definitely the deadliest unit here, so thankfully they're all kind of grouped up. Meaning, as soon as we start getting some volley work off like that, oh yeah, it's really gonna hurt them.
Melee infantry at your command. Swords!
Alright, we are facing some actual significant range, so
By your command. Quickly now! Legionary cavalry!
let's get our cav around the flanks here.
Melee infantry ready.
Sons of Mars! At speed!
Okay.
Defensive testudo! Elite attack! Ready for orders! Pikemen! At speed! Your orders? Yes, Commander.
Okay, yeah.
Pikemen! Double time, Commander! Advance!
They are suffering here.
Pikemen! Orders understood. Elite attack! Pikes!
Okay, there are quite a few rangers here.
Swords! Melee infantry at your command. At your service. Orders! Find your target! Pikemen! At speed! Legionary cavalry!
Oh, I'm glad she kept on moving, because that could have been terrifying if she hadn't paid attention.
Romans, ready for duty.
Keep moving, please.
Commander! Move up!
Some of our legionary forces have been taking
Yours to command. Ready!
quite the beating, honestly.
Legionary cavalry! A charge!
Gracia getting her sights dirty, you could say here, as she is just mopping through the enemy now. Ooh.
Legionary cavalry!
Yeah.
Ready and waiting. For glory!
It's gonna ruin their morale.
Commander! Romans ready for duty!
Go for them. Very nice. Somehow managing to dodge the javelins there. We are utterly ruining them.
Legionary cavalry! Await your command! Proud Romans all! Orders!
Very good work.
Legionary cavalry!
A little bit of a rougher battle, thanks to me being a little not paying attention, but Gracia losing only 3 chariots, getting over 469 kills. Jesus Christ, do I. This campaign has made me appreciate the chariots. But let's resume on the battlefield. And with that, the island of Crete has fallen. Despite it being a little bloodier than we expected, it wasn't too bad. And we will be occupying this settlement just to make sure we won't have to stay here forever. However, I do think the Legion of Armenia will be on Crete for quite a while, unfortunately for them. Let's go ahead and get a civil servant or civil settlement, and we can't convert this to anything other than a fish market, which is truly unfortunate. And we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that too, but we have secured one of their major raiding ports that they had, so fingers crossed that significantly ruins their abilities. They do still have Athens, Rhodes. We did back off there in case I wasn't on the video. Thessalonica as well, I bet. Yes, they all have major raiding ports, so I bet any port they have is rather strong, and we're going to have to deal with them shortly. But that is the first victory of today.
Your orders?
And fingers crossed, many more to come. We're going to let these side roll out. Once Gabata is secured and these legions are good, we will continue on our way. Honestly, the Quadi, are they at war with the Quadi? They are not. They're at war with just the Macromani. We could probably move our agents up there. That might be able to spur a rebellion, especially with how weak they are here. And a rebellion will allow the Iste to take them down. Potentially. Because we are going to secure the Bosporus for ourselves as long as we can get to it in time. The Macromani probably will have something to say about that. But that's going to be on their own terms. For now, we're going to let those battles simmer out. Let them clash against our shields. And we are going to spend a chunk of cash somewhere. Loyalty is doing fine. And I'm going to be right back.